Mr. Jerry very much. And I think that now the world has changed in terms of, everyone has a phone, everyone has a chance. And the difference with, YouTube back in the days, you had to, grow from 100 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, videos could go viral, but it's nothing compared to the way algorithms work today. You can have 0 followers, 0 anything. You don't need to understand how algorithms work. You don't need to have any hashtags. If you post the right video, you can reach the audience. And the question, of course, what it comes down to is, promote Malaysia through what? The real beauty that it has, the culture, the people. There is so much that Malaysia has that I think it makes just the right sense to promote that, rather than trying to promote the nightlife and so on. Is it really going to have the same result when you have the same, for example, Thailand next door, where you do have, or maybe Singapore, where you have even more exciting. But just it's important to understand what Malaysia has that maybe, only Malaysia has, and to promote that. And everyone has the power. So I think that's what I think.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alexi. I'll move to the next question, Mr. Jericom. What challenge do you encounter when balancing authenticity with the needs to appeal to a brand audience?
Okay, yeah. So as I think just now, I think I very much agree as well. Everyone content has different approaches. Okay, some be funny, some have got ambition, some be very non-easy. And I think keeping to your own stuff and ensuring that you are providing value, that is the key to make sure that authentic content can still reach broader audience. When we are not providing value, we are doing something so dry, so about yourself people providing value to people. But if you're shifting yourself, sharing something about your view, or you're sharing some deeper insight about how magic do the nasi lemak, even with yourself in it. I think that kind of is very authentic, and that kind of content will show you can reach a very, very broad audience. Yeah, so that's in my view.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tom, for your full perspective. Mr. Alexi, how do you operate this balance in your own work? What challenges did you have faced in staying authentic while reaching broader audience?
I think nowadays, really, I don't have a challenge in being authentic. Simply for a reason, because I've tried being not authentic, and I've tried to put on a show, and to make things, like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, no views, People enjoy authenticity, and that's again the shift from the market. People want to see the real deal, the real story, because people are quite tired of the fake, planned out, scripted, and so on kind of shows. So people want to see the real deal. If I have to say and to mention a challenge that I might have making these videos, well, I think there is a challenge that, as we discussed earlier today, we face every single day. What's an interesting piece of content we can produce? What's an interesting story we can share? Because being real and authentic is one thing, but I can be real just sitting down here, and someone can record me just sitting down. Okay, but there has to be a story, and I think the story, that's just the key word of the session of the day, the story. And very interesting what you mentioned again about businesses, how businesses are starting to pick up, and I think that is part of your success as well, because you didn't choose to say, oh, okay, no, I don't want to bother learning and just figuring out this funny, silly videos, I want to just focus on business because I want to do sales, I don't want to just play around, No, because stories, again, if you open some business accounts today, some successful business accounts, or maybe even some very successful business accounts, and just go through their Instagram, for example, it can be a shoe brand, and you're going through their Instagram account, listing it, and you don't see a photo of shoes. You see stories and stories, and story about this guy that won a marathon, and story about how his life changed. You don't see this product photos. That's how Instagram again was back in the day. You open a coffee shop, we have this, we have that. No, people are bored of that. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alexi, before I move to the next question, I have a few things to ask. I am a culinary student, so I have to. During breakfast earlier, I found that Mr. Alexi actually speaks Malay. So Alex, would you mind sharing a few words in Malay with the audience? Perhaps you could tell us what you love most in Malaysia.
Boleh cakap sikit-sikit. Sikit-sikit boleh. Belum pasti. Tapi saya suka. Saya suka negara ini. Saya suka orang yang tinggal di sini.
Apa makanan Mr. Alexi?
Semua yang tak pedas. Semua yang tak pedas saya suka. Yang pedas pun suka tapi tak boleh. Tapi tak boleh. Orang Rusia tak tahu pedas macam mana, you know. Kita ada black pepper, yeah. Chili, no. Actually, when I was living in Russia, the 5 years that I lived in Russia before coming back here, I remember I made myself a mission. I really wanted to find sambal. By the way, maybe this is a business idea for Mr. J. I looked everywhere. I looked through the whole internet. I didn't find anything. But maybe it's not a good business idea. Maybe people can't take it yet. You have to slowly introduce it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alexi. Mr. Larry, food has a way to bring people together. Is there a dish at Padi Kopitiam that holds a special story and memory to it?
Yes, there is a dish. In Padi Kopitiam, unlike any other kopitiam, there's one thing that we created, one year after we started the business of the brand. And that I think every one of you here for sure know, for sure have before, pisang goreng. Okay, so for pisang goreng, not all the kopitiam actually, all the chain restaurants also. How did we come up to our name? Because initially we do Padi Kopitiam. Padi Sawa, nasi. So because the nasi yang baik itu orang is the right and myself and the quality part. But to me that doesn't make us stand out enough in the market for so many kopitiam around there. So it is one thing that in a kopitiam that is not so general yet. Yeah, I think that my mother, so she herself has, doing the pisang goreng to us, very often, and I love the recipe. So then we bring this recipe into my business, talk to the chef, and we commercialize it. That meaning commercializing, make sure that this pisang goreng can be mass produced. So end up now, I think in a month we can sell over, I think 20,000 of pisang goreng, and ours is really crispy, we make it really crispy. So so pisang goreng is the one that connected to my personal story.
Okay, can I get the recipe? Thank you. As everyone knows, tourism is the strongest industry in every country that can be developed. This is very good. How do you think locals can contribute to this storytelling process to help tourism?
Okay. I think when we speak of the word local, previously I was said earlier, I think there is a multiracial country, so locals, all the races, how we can come together and show. And to me, it's about locals. So we can go people and see what locals know things better. So we are water, for example, and what is the specialty about your kampong, your village, or a warung by the roadside that you always visit? Don't think that a good story must come from a very big, reputable restaurant in a shopping mall. No. Probably a masjid doing something in a warung, or a very beautiful house in your kampong that no one has visited that architecture before. You can talk to the owner. This is part of the thing that we do tourism. Or you have a very nice, very good, like the waterfall in your kampong that no one knows. So how local that you know where are all these things coming from? You can play a very big part, in telling people about the story of your own. So I think locals have a lot to tell that you contribute, in digital storytelling.
May I know your opinion to Mr. Alexi in this matter? It's about local contribution.
In my opinion, once again, I agree with Jerry. There is a lot that locals can show. At the same time, I think that the videos that I see on TikTok now, and I think there's a lot of actually good influencers. There is a lot of good content, and there is a lot of competition. What does that mean? That means when there is competition, there is a need for influencers to try and to do better. And that's probably one of the reasons actually that content in Malaysia is actually becoming